those high-pitched chirps are like these cool little like parrot-looking things. I don't even know. They're really small. They're green. I don't know what it is. They're really small and green with like little red beaks. They look really cool, honestly. I just pulled in from getting some Starbucks and I seen them. But welcome to the video. So today I think we're probably gonna hopefully try and at least get most of the Del Sol finished up. Honestly, I'm tired of working on it. If you guys don't already know, it is my brother's car. If you guys haven't seen the other videos, he got it months ago. Motor was shot, so we pulled it. He sent it off, got it fully built. The first out of both of us to have a fully built engine. It was, I forget exactly all the specs, but whatever, you get the gist of it. I'm putting it back together, and motor's already in it, and it's mostly ready to turnkey. Everything's plugged in, it just needs like fluids, and I gotta try and figure out this MSD ignition setup. But he does have a lot of other parts to go on it, like bushings, ball joints, wheel bearings, stuff like that. So I think that's more or less what I gotta work on today. Just not looking forward to it, because I don't know, just don't really feel like doing it. But let's get started. I gotta move the Integra out of the way first so we can push this thing up so I have room to work. So let's do that first, eh? Still running good for those of you that care. I just don't drive it much anymore. I don't remember at all where I left off on this, so I'm just kind of looking at it now. It appears fluids, because I just opened the door to push it forward, and there was some synchro mesh, and I think we got the oil over there on the table. And then coolant, I think he has here. I don't know, I might have to hit him up for that. But we got some fresh wires, we got some fresh NGK plugs. I just don't remember what to gap them to. I know right off the bat we're only going to be shooting for like 250, 300 tops because of the limitations on the setup. Like manifold, turbo, and intake wise. So I don't know if we really need to gap them crazy at all. It's been so long since I've done this. But I think all that's really left besides just filling the motor with fluids is just getting the suspension stuff done. So if that's the case, I gotta mount the intercooler too, because I forgot that I made a crash bar, like one of my EG bumper bars, and it's on here, and I just never got around to making the intercooler tabs for it. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna bring the welder out here, bolt up all the charge pipe, and then hang the intercooler and try and, you know, just weld little tabs or whatever to the bar, and that'll take care of that. But yeah, I think we're good to just get this thing off the ground after I make the intercooler mounts and start pulling suspension and freaking swapping that crap out. Let's get to work. So we're not doing this intercooler mount setup as fancy as I did that Civics. So this one, I'm just using some plate that I just cut and drilled really quick. So got some of my bolts here. We're just gonna bolt these things up and then probably bend it up and weld it to the front of the thing. I just needed to kind of get a reference point on where to actually bend it from. So should be good there. That was a good catch, you see that? And we'll just end up welding into the front of this crash bar. It's just like a little L bracket. Added these little triangle pieces so that way this piece wouldn't bend after it's mounted to the radiator or the intercooler in the bar, so that way the intercooler wouldn't, you know, the weight of it wouldn't bend it. So because the way the intercooler pipe on this side was pre-modified or pre-made or whatever from the last setup, I had to slightly mount the intercooler just a hair higher so the top like row of it doesn't get direct airflow. But it shouldn't be an issue because this at least gives him room for a bigger intercooler, which he's going to need if he gets anything more like 250, because this intercooler is also going to be part of his limitation. So we got plenty of room to go downward, we just don't have any room to go any more upward, which will be fine for now. So it's mounted, should be good enough. I got the plugs, wires. I just put the old distributor cap on for now. I don't know. I'll deal with the MSD stuff later. But I'm about to put some oil in. So this is some Motul mineral oil, break-in engine oil type stuff. So we're gonna start the motor with this stuff. Obviously, break it in first 500 miles or whatever. Drain it, put something else in it. So yeah, we're gonna use this, and then we get the car up in the air, and then I'll add the transmission fluid after I put the axles in, because I just realized those were out, and then we can start taking the suspension apart. So hopefully we don't spill this. I'm going to start with doing that wheel bearing that's on the passenger side, because that one is completely shot. So we got a new bearing, and then my brother just ordered a hub with it. It was like a bearing hub combo. So I'm going to go ahead, pull those, or press those in really quick. Pulling it off, pretty straightforward. Unhook the ball joints, slang the caliper off to the side, put your rotor off, you know, just take the hub over to the press and do your thing. Got it all pressed in there, much tighter than it was before, so I'd say that was a success. So let's go slap this back together
Forgot that he had said he had just ordered ball joints and tie rods and stuff, so I gotta leave that off until the lower ball joint shows up for both sides. Obviously you have to have the hub off to smack them out and get them back in, so that's gonna have to leave this video off here for the day. I'm just really getting too frustrated too easy, so I'm just gonna come back to this. So probably tomorrow I'll come back and I'll start taking this crap apart for the bushings. I don't know, maybe even later. Right now I'm just getting really agitated at this car. That wheel bearing gave me some trouble. It was just like stuck in there, and yeah, I'm just frustrated, so I'm gonna come back to it.
All right, so back out here now. I suppose since I'm still waiting on all the ball joints and tie rods and stuff, I can just start pulling the control arms and all that off. So it's the Energy Suspension Master Bushing Kit that we got right there. So it has basically everything. I'm really only going to be doing the main stuff, like the control arms, the sway bars, the rear control arms. I'm not going to bother like with the little things. Like, it has new tie rod boots. Obviously these boots are wrecked. I'm not going to, why? Like, I don't know why they offer those, but yeah. So we do have some new coils that'll probably be later this video. Open those up, nothing fancy, but yeah, just gonna keep making progress, I guess. This is also dirty. Probably should power wash it too. I don't have any degreaser, so I don't know. Yeah, I should probably go get some degreaser. I'm gonna go do that. Get some degreaser, pull these off, power wash, and then burn the crap out. This stuff's gonna stink though. There's a lot of goop in there. After doing this probably 4 or 5 cars now that I've done full bushing kits on, I've learned, especially with these older, for me the Hondas, the Miata didn't really have any issue, but those arms are also just a little bit better shaped for getting bushings out, I think. You can't just press these out usually. You really want to try and burn the bushing, not all the way out, but you want to smoke it out to break that bond, because I've had it even on my Del Sol. I bent 2 control arms because it was just so seized in there that when you throw it on the press to press the bushings out, it's too like molded to the arm, and the arm bends, and I had to go junkyard those. So yeah, torch, like a little propane torch, and I'll show you once we get to that point. But yeah, word of the wise, don't just try and straight press them out. You'll probably end up bending your arm like I did. So a lot of you guys are pressed on that last video about me not knowing about doing the energy suspension bushing, like how you have to do the rear ring as well as the dog bone. I thought it was just a dog bone. I am more lazy than I am cheap in certain things, and that's one of those things. I'd rather spend the extra 40 bucks on the hard race bushings because they're so much easier to put in. I like the hardened rubber over the poly anyway. But yeah, you guys are you're on to me in that last video, I'll tell you what. So there's really no rhyme or reason to this. It's a lot easier for me on the Miatas because the sleeves are a little bit easier to knock out. This one basically just gonna be cooking it nice and hot until you see a good amount of smoke coming out, and then we're just gonna start hitting it a bit. If we see the bushing start to move, then I'm gonna take it out to the press. And since it's only the 2, hopefully it's easy. There we go. A little time consuming. I think we got a little bit lucky on that one. So you East Coasters and Midwesterners might be a little bit more challenging, but just plenty of heat and just watch that press. Make sure you're not bending your arm. I'm gonna go through, get the rest of these out on these 2 arms, and we'll come back to you.
fronts are all done. I just rinsed them off. Probably gonna rinse them off a little bit more because I still see some goop on there and I just don't want to touch them. And then I just gotta reassemble them, but I can't put them back onto the car until, like I said, I get those other parts. So let's pull these rear arms really quick and get started on those. Well, that sucks. This bolt here just snapped. Shoot. So that means I have to pull the trailing arm, which I have to do anyway in a couple days once those bushings come in. But now I gotta replace that and try and drill out or pull out that back section. I don't know how that broke so easy. Like that, half an ugga dugga, and that thing just snapped. So that sucks. Whatever. Such is life. So the same crap that happened to me on my Del Sol and the red EG from way back when. Definitely my Del Sol though. Stupid flimsy ass factory control arms bent. So this one I got all the bushings out of. That was okay. And then this one I was working on that big one, and it bent a big old steel tube that I had laying as a support, and it just completely mangled that arm. Like it elongated the arm and the bushing in there. So yeah, that's probably gonna have to wrap that up. So kind of SOL now. I'm gonna close out the video here because I don't have anything else to do to the car, waiting on the rest of the front suspension pieces, and now I gotta wait for him to my brother that is actually owns the car or whatever to actually order some arms. I already let him know the situation. It's one of those things where shit happens. This is why I don't like pressing out bushings. I tried using as much heat as I could, as that little propane torch will put out at least, and this is the type of stuff that happens. This is, for me, this is why I always, like, I have my process of doing things, and a lot of you guys, like the trailing arm bushing thing on that last video, you guys are getting all butthurt because I didn't know to use those outer rings. It's one of those things where I just don't deal with that shit, so I just buy the right stuff right off the bat. I don't like the energy stuff for those. Same situation with here and like front upper control arms. I don't install the bushing kits on those front upper control arms or the rear arms because they're flimsy, they're old, they're seized, rust welded, whatever. I just buy new ones. The skunk arms, the MPC arms, literally anything else that isn't the factory arms. They look better anyway. They got good bushings in them usually, so I just do that. But that's just me. Some of you guys are different. Some of you guys take the budget route a little bit more, which I'm usually about, but for me it's time is money. Spend $200 on a brand new set of billet control arms, or spend $185 on a master bushing kit, and then risk bending your arms like that. It's pretty easy choice for me, but to each their own. So I am going to end this video off here now because that kind of ruins it for me. Don't have anything else to do for this video on this car. So there's a Honda meet this Saturday. Might take you guys out there. I don't know. Still deciding if I want to go or not, but if I go, you'll see a video on it. If I don't, there won't be no video. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, let me know what you guys would have done in this situation, because I tried what I could. A lot of heat, big old press, didn't work for shit. If you want to help support the channel, merch and big cartel stuff, best way to do it. Also get a Patreon. Use those Amazon affiliate links. It gives me a little bit of a percentage of commission when you order anything on Amazon through any of those links. Anyways, guys, do what you love. Think about the rest. Hopefully you have a better day than I am having now, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.